Hey guys, Andrew Bennett here. Wanted to give you a quick video on how to do a pressure test on your water supply system on a tiny house. So I'm underneath, just happen to have my connection for the supply underneath here for my air pressure test. So what I did is we have two female ends here because they have the check valves in them. And then I use a double male, and I'll put this in to the female there going into the freshwater system. And now I'll connect this and I'll let that air up pressure. I'll usually have somebody on the inside. Now hold your ears. Now I have to release that side first, otherwise it just lets it all out of this. There may be a better way to do a check valve there, but this works pretty good for me. And I'll normally have somebody on the inside tell me when it's up to 100 pounds, but I'm guessing it's probably close to there. So now we're done with that part, and we'll go up top and I'll show you what we're looking at up there. Fortunately, this house is higher up off the ground, so not a whole lot of falling. Come on around. Okay, so the idea here is we want to test the entire system. So we have all of our sinks hooked up, even our faucets and our stops and everything are already hooked up, but we don't want to blow out like the fixtures. So what we do is we make sure, beforehand we check to make sure that we had all the valves shut. And as you can imagine, that keeps them from going together. So it looks like I'm only testing one side. So over here, if you look down in here, what I did is where the hot and cold comes up here, instead of them going into the water heater, because I didn't want to pressurize my water heater, I looped them together, see that? And then I went and tied into it with my gauge, which is up to over 100 pounds, right? And so what happens, like on an inspection, if you're doing a video inspection, what you can do is at the beginning of the inspection, you have them check the gauge, and then do the inspection of the rest of the plumbing, and then you come back at the end and release the pressure, and they can see the gauge move, and that just proves that you really did have pressure on there. And they'll ask you how long it's been on there, and you just tell them. So I'll show you now. That's all tied in. We can see that the whole system is looped together, hot and cold, and it's holding pressure, right? And so then we can go, we'll keep the camera on the gauge while one person releases the pressure. And there you go. That's how you do a pressure test on a tiny house. I hope that's helped. It's Andrew Bennett, your tiny house guy.